The incompetent gaming industry is in chaos. So sad.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today I have got a lot of fairly fascinating news for you. Sony's live service Gambit has failed. That is actually confirmed. Warner Brother Games doing some insane things. We have got some very
Warner Brother Games have never made a good game. I honestly don't think they have even created a concept of a good game. They have failed everything they have ever attempted. I don't even understand how that's even a thing still.
expensive horse armor to talk about in Diablo and a whole bunch of other things, even the old John Halo. Okay, kick it off then. Diablo's pricey horse armor. Blizzard thinks that the combination of a horse skin and an armor skin for that horse plus 7,800 platinum is worth $64.99. Just brought this up because this is clearly them trying to pull that money lever. Now, one thing does...
Wow. I mean, you know what? I'm actually completely fine with this, by the way. Hey, if you're stupid enough to buy this, what can I say? There's not going to be a lot of people stupid enough to buy this. There are going to be some special exemptions, some special examples, but that's fine, honestly. I mean, again, they know that they're not going to sell this to everyone. This is especially for the gifted people that play Diablo 4. You know, that's it. Why not add it? Some idiots are gonna buy it, some aren't, some are gonna complain about it in the forums and wherever, but ultimately it's gonna be just free money at the end of the day from a couple of very, very deficient people. So, I see nothing wrong with it. If someone buys it, that just tells me everything I need to know about them.
Need to be made very clear. Diablo 4 Season 2 way better than Season 1. When I was at BlizzCon, I was talking to quite a lot of people who cover that game, ARPG content creators, that sort of thing. A lot of them were broadly saying, oh my god, if only the game launched like this. So there is frustration there, but also genuine...
Don't get me, don't misunderstand this. Diablo 4, still bad. But Diablo 2 Season 2, Diablo 4 Season 2, is way better than expected. Like, I expected a failure. Everyone expected something as bad as Season 1. But Season 2 is actually pretty good. It adds a bunch of things that people wanted. Does it make Diablo 4 a good game in general? No, it's far from it. But it is better than expected.
Like, oh yeah, this is fun now and I'm playing it. So while the devs have done fantastic work, obviously the money people do want more money. Now D4 did launch with horse bundles. We had a lovely 25...
The devs are as incompetent as they were. They're currently just throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. And they have no idea why it sticks. They added a gem bag because people were complaining about gems taking inventory space. The devs... who, by the way, keep in mind, not a single Diablo 4 dev has even ever tried to attempt to launch Diablo 4 as a game. None of them have played it. The devs didn't even understand what's the point of a gem bag. Then they added the gem bag because people were crying about it constantly. Because, you know, it's needed. And you know what they did exactly in the same breath as they added the gem bag? They added new things that take up your inventory space because they didn't learn anything. The devs don't have any idea why people wanted the gem bag. They just don't. We saw the Diablo 4 devs play their game and talk about stuff, about level design. We ended up obviously knowing more about those two female developers more than anything. And obviously they're lesbians, by the way. Just FYI if you didn't already do 2 plus 2 already. Okay? It was obvious. They had never played the game. They did not know how to even control their characters. They were given freshly created level 50s in World Tier 1 and they still died and struggled. I'm not kidding. They did not know how to press this mouse button. They didn't even know that the resource spenders exist. And these people are creating the dungeon layout, the design. And you're wondering why the game is shit. That's because none of them have ever played it. You only need to play a single dungeon in Diablo 4 once. Once! to understand that the start of the dungeon where you don't see any enemies for, 10 seconds, and the second part of the dungeon where you enter it and the same shit happens again should not even exist in the first place, okay? But these developers don't understand that because they have never played the game.
$5 horse bundle. Now, in a way, right, it is fair that, like, this is really good value, in crazy land where we're buying horse armor, because it is, you get the horse the armor skin, right? You get the horse, the armor for the horse, sold separately but together in a bundle, plus 7,800 platinum.
Bundles equals good, also, remember.
So that basically is like the price of 7,800 platinum anyway, right? Because usually to get that, you'd be spending $49.99 plus $24.99. So in a way, like for the for the microtransaction build people, they're enjoying this macro transaction and they have a lot of platinum to spare. But basically, point is, for the amount of money that somebody's just casually dropping a game like this for these armor skins that don't really look that good, or at least, the camera's so far away.
They don't need to look that good. Someone's still gonna buy them.
Yeah, that's hard to appreciate. You could buy a whole AAA game at launch. You could buy 5 to 6.
Well, admittedly, the AAA game probably has more bugs than the horse armor and less content than the horse armor nowadays. So, saying that horse armor is unironically worse than a AAA game, I don't know about that one. I think the horse armor in value is equivalent to a modern day AAA asset reflip, zero bug fixes, Bethesda quality game, okay? Would I, I'm not gonna, I'm actually not gonna lie. I unironically would probably, if I could go back in time and save my money and not buy Starfield, I would buy the horse armor instead. I'm not gonna lie. The horse armor is probably gonna be 100% more long-term value as just something that fills my slots in my collection inventory more than Starfield as a whole separate game could ever do. Like, so comparing it, you can buy a AAA game, I think is shitty, because I would rather buy the horse armor instead of Starfield. It is what it is.
6 indie games, a very succulent meal for 2, or you could spend it on 2 cosmetic skins for your horse, and of course then a pile of premium currency for even more skins. Clearly, many people for Diablo will be going for the latter. I think what's funny then is we can contrast this with some
which is still stupid, because, man, does anyone even pay attention to the horse when you're riding? I don't.
Statements that Mike Ybarra has given to The Verge at BlizzCon, right? Just talking about how he wants people to feel, with microtransactions, while the studio obviously is then managing the cost of running a live service versus player expectations. I believe the Diablo team is like one of the largest at Blizzard. It may even be.
We need to actually have the conversation why live service games are currently failing. Because that's actually a very intriguing and kind of interesting conversation to have.
The largest, it is absolutely ginormous from what I've been led to understand. Quote, players have no patience, he says. They want new stuff every day, every hour. We're trying to react to that while holding the Blizzard quality bar high. This obviously
not true, a blatant lie.
Made headlines. I think a stupid way to put it. Obviously, players do have patience. I understand he's saying, like, people want the goddamn content all the time.
Yeah, currently Diablo 4 is actually getting a lot of content, and I am against that. Because the game is gonna get worse, okay? The Diablo devs fundamentally don't understand the game they are making, or why any decision that they make turns out to be good or a failure. They fundamentally just have absolutely no idea how these things work out in real life, or why they even work out as they do. So, they're just throwing shit in the game. At this rate, in 1 year, Diablo 4 is gonna have 75 different mechanics, from which you're not gonna care about a single one. But you're not gonna have to do all of them. This is what's happening. I would much rather have one new mechanic added every year, honestly, than 15 different shitty mechanics added that ruin the game. One good thing is better than 100 bad things, obviously.
time, how do we give them the content? But still, bad wording, Mr. Ybarra, bad wording. Quote, we know players want new content literally almost every single day. At the same time, it takes large teams to be able to deliver, so you've got to monetize that in the right ways. At the same time, I always tell the teams when someone spends $1 or a penny at Blizzard, I want them to feel good after they do that. How do we get to a world where we know that's always going to be the basis of what we're doing? Quote, we want to serve players with more content in our universes. At the same time, we want to make sure we're responsible and meet their expectations. I think
So his solution to this was horse armor. Okay.
we're still fine-tuning a lot of these going forward, and he talks about how that's something they need to keep in mind. Obviously, balance is key here. Look, if we're getting a Diablo that's getting way bigger seasons than Diablo 3 did, right? Way more content, you know, way more dev time. If we're getting World of Warcraft with a patch every 8 weeks, which is what we've been getting, you know, I'm happy to have a little bit more of a expanded, you could maybe buy a thing, or to pay a bit more money if I feel I'm getting a better value for that in the grand totality of the video game experience. I think the issue here is a lot of this stuff is just feeling bad for Blizzard. You still have the situation.
Nah, this is just going to be a sunk cost fallacy thing, you know? Oh, this is kind of good. I'm going to buy it. Well, I'm already spending... I already have played this game for $5,000. What, am I not going to buy the new thing? No, this is more playing into sunk cost fallacies where you just want to continue playing the thing that you have been playing for such a long time than anything else, honestly.
With say the the skin they had on the premium only battle pass, like $40 thing on Overwatch 2, and how that felt awful for people. It's like they need to have none of that. Blizzard, I get it, but hey, if you want to do live services, what Blizzard quality used to mean for your video games, it should mean for how you run your live services as well. So when I think about what should a Blizzard microtransaction store or whatever like that be, it should be the best in the industry for treating players well. It's also balanced because at the end of the day, the bills do have to be paid.
True.
Here, we've really actually had a problem with that lately.
Hey, Blizzard paying their bills has nothing to do with me, and I couldn't give less of a shit. Let Blizzard solve their bill problems on their own. They're not gonna solve my bill problems, so, you know, why should I solve theirs?
With the CPMs dropping humongously, which is why we're doing something new. And over at bellular.ghost.io, if you want to join up, become a member and support us, we will be meeting you with that content. As an example, here is the latest edition of Loading Screen, our daily newsletter, where you can see there is actually a lot of content keeping you up to date with the game's news.
Now, I don't think the Loading Screen is a good name, honestly. I think that's a horrible name.
Also get access to videos before they go out publicly to
It's a cool site, not gonna lie, but man, the loading screen, bruh. I'm not gonna click on something that says loading screen. No.
Everybody, you get access to all of these research docs that I'm going off here. All of that, it is the best way to support what we do, and the long-term ambition of being less focused on needing to get views and needing to get AdSense and sponsors, and more on just doing the thing that we love the most, which is getting that news to you, breaking it down, and trying to have that thoughtful analysis, which at the end of the day is why I'm not just reading off websites. Our team actually goes through, does the research, checks the sources, goes across the industry. So bellular.ghost.io, sign up to there. Hey, new version of the site. We got light mode, and of course we got dark mode too, which is always nice. All right, and also you can hang out with us over in the members lounge. Halo has rocketed up the charts. The good part of that is it has actually been going up the playership charts as people have flocked back for season 5, which is doing so much right, and that makes me so excited. However, lately they've got themselves in a little bit of microtransaction hot water as they try to pay for that development work.
Course.
Okay, so here are two skins. See the one on the left, right? You can get that for reaching the top of the game's ranked system.
Nice.
That will let you be the modern Master Chief. Or,
I'm obviously being facetious here.
if you want to celebrate Halo Combat Evolved, you can get the original Master Chief armor for 22 of those buckaroos on the store. Thing is, though, for only $12 more, you could pick up for yourself the entire Master Chief collection.
I was gonna say, wait a minute, why isn't this $40? Because the magic number is 40, by the way. 40 seems to be everything that the game industry is going for, in terms of, okay, it's expensive, but it's not as expensive that we're gonna lose too much people buying it. 40 seems to be the magic number in so many cases.
And for under the cost of Master Chief's Combat Evolved armor, you could just buy the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition as a part of the Master Chief Collection separately. Yeah, funny little situation.
Nice.
Now, this is all being revealed during Halo Season 5, the season where player sentiment and numbers have been rocketing upwards, and that means that this is not particularly helpful, especially because this is the season that also saw an update to customization that means that one skin color can apply across multiple different armor cores, which basically means that the store costs changed for the worse. Because now, instead of buying several colors for every armor core, you're just buying one, which immediately does feel rather bad. Now, of course, as soon as you take yourself out of the context of the store, you then just begin to question the value of any of this. I mean, why are people buying these things? What is going on? But the metrics show that people are buying them. You can...
You know, you see yourself so little in Halo, and only in the loading screens, pretty much. Dude, well... loading screens and game screens and things like that. Is that really enough to buy a skin? That's crazy to me. I mean, look at Dota. I understand you want to buy a skin in Dota because, man, you're playing that character and yeah, you see him constantly, so it kind of makes sense if you look like lit and whatever. But man...
You can see here that for Master Chief Collection, it has moved up to now be raking in more money than Dota 2. And Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 Ultimate Edition, and just under Formula 1 23, which of course is not the most money in the universe, but honestly, for what live service money that game was making through Steam, this is a very marked improvement. You can in fact see that over the last 24 hours, it jumped from 115th to 21st in the global top sellers, which is a very, very large increase. So far today, you may have looked at these options.
Is it though? Is it though? Because the reality also is we need to we need Diablo Immortal would probably do the same thing if they just released something new that people wanted to buy power for. If Diablo Immortal was there, because if it's just based on sales numbers, you know, you introduce something expensive to a game that has a very, I mean, it's like introducing something that people can buy in Starfield, like Bethesda fanboys. They're gonna buy it, and that's instantaneously just gonna catapult it up. It's completely understandable and, well, expected.
Consumption opportunities and thought, I will never buy that. That makes no sense. Guess what? That's part of the plan too. I know. So this is just a really good editorial from GameIndustry.biz, came out in July, and I think it very well elucidates the full situation here. Because in reality, something being priced where exclusivity is part of it is actually key to the strategy. In the same way, I was recently going through the airport on the way back from BlizzCon, and I see Gucci and Hermes, and you look at their stuff, and versus what you can get from, say, a local craftsperson or, you know, an independently owned thing, you can get...
Isn't... I may be wrong, but isn't Hermes like, super exclusivity? Like a limited amount of actual items? Or am I mistaken? Aren't those handbags?
Way better quality leather, way better quality goods that honestly look way better than those, you know, luxury brand garbage. But guess what? The luxury brand garbage is priced exclusively so that people think it's worth more than it actually is. And that means the people who can afford to give that amount of money over actually do. That happens here. Quote, owning a cosmetic most people don't have as a flex. It makes your character a bit unique, and for most...
Yeah, it is a brand of women's bags. Yeah, this is one of the rare things I know. Dude, this thing gets made like in the thousands for each. This shit is like... these things are like multiple $1,000s each. I mean, what's the... are we real here?
Most players, there's a real value in that. There's a reason why people on the schoolyards were calling each other defaults, because they didn't have skins in Fortnite. If the price dropped and more people buy the cosmetic, it would open it up to new audiences, but it would decrease the appeal of the item itself, which no longer will be rare or premium. Skins and cosmetics are luxury items, not commodities. There is wisdom in that, in the same way that, for some reason...
The exact opposite also by the works. Like, it depends on what kind of premium we're actually talking about. Because when we're talking about a premium skin, let's say it costs $60, if everything else costs 20, it's still gonna be a premium skin even if you lower its price to 30 and everyone starts buying it. Because the reason why people are buying it in the first place is because it's a premium thing, and finally they get to get it for cheap. It still is gonna be a premium thing no matter what. The exact opposite is also true. And this is why strategies like this are so questionable, because you think exclusivity sells? Yeah, it does, but also the opposite also sells. So which one is going to be more correct? Well, that kind of begs to be determined by how good your sales numbers actually are.
Living crisis and all these issues striking society. What do we also have? I forget the name of them, but you know that big conglomerate that owns all the luxury brands? They are going to the moon. You're like, yeah. Somehow we can have the problems we have right now and also have a booming luxury space. Even look at graphics cards. Motherfuckers are dying to purchase a 4090 at $1,500 or $1,600. Obviously, the export ban has changed up that, and they are now going for over RRP again. So by this logic, then, the point is, if you're a free player...
How many billion transistors? 76 billion transistors. That's probably a lot of witchcraft.
So by this logic, then, the point is, if you're a free player, you don't buy the skin, you're window dressing in the premium VIP players experience, where they get to look at all the silly little defaults who maybe are wearing their free event skin, where they are, say, on the, oh, cool, Demon Lilith skin or whatever, right? Do you remember in 2017 when Activision had a patent around the idea of matchmaking people against people who had premium skins? That plays into this model, because anyone who has a skin gets...
Why do they have a patent for it? Other games already do that. There are so many MMOs that use this strategy. They make fake accounts that are just sitting in the most popular places, and they have all the coolest cosmetics, so people constantly see them. And they also want to buy these cool, expensive cosmetics because they can see them finally.
To feel their skin is even more rare and be more satisfied with their purchase. I mean, take, say, in World of Warcraft, right? See when a new store mount comes out or there's a new 6-month sub mount, you log in game, there they all are. None of that shit feels special. But imagine you purchase...
It doesn't need to feel special. That's the point. Yeah, again, everything that is said about this type of selling, marketing, and whatever is applicable explicitly in the opposite direction also. You know... People don't care about the fact that their mount is not special. They all buy it. Why? Because they're tired of their old mounts. They just want something new. I haven't used this example. I haven't used this in a long time. But that ever getting bored of playing? I don't know. So, for example, Path of Exile is a great example of this. Ever get bored of playing Path of Exile with your one stupid skill? Buy a skin for it, and instantaneously it's gonna be like a whole new experience. That's what skins do, and you have absolutely you don't care. Those people who buy the new mounts when they're released in the World of Warcraft cash shop, they don't care that everyone else also buys them, because they're tired of all of their old mounts. They want something new. Because no matter how much you love a skin, no matter how much you love something how it looks, you're gonna be super happy, super appreciative of it when you finally change it. This is why skins can be sold in Halo, okay? A game where you only see your skin like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 seconds of, I don't know, a 20-minute game. Because it's different. Okay? It's different. And this is why skins sell, you know? And this is why good games also give you free skins, to make you understand how actually cool it is, how absolutely good it feels to experience the game with something new when it looks different. Because the look matters. The look really, really matters.
Say the Lilith skin in Overwatch 2, and they specifically matchmake you with people who don't have that skin, you're gonna feel more unique and more special, because the algorithm is crafting a reality where...
No, you don't care about the other people. The amount of people who say, oh, I'm the only special person with this thing. Yeah, they exist. And they are willing to shell out a lot of money to be like that, that's for sure. But most people aren't like that. Most people have the Lilith skin because they just want to masturbate on it. Okay? That's the reality of it. People don't care that they are... that the other people own the Lilith skin. Exclusivity can be sold. But exclusivity most of the times is not sold because it's kind of... At a certain point, when you play something long enough, exclusivity no longer matters that much. Exclusivity matters in a form of achievement. Okay? For example, finishing a super hard campaign and gaining some kind of cosmetic. That does matter, okay? That type of exclusivity does matter. But a basic skin, if you're playing some game for 3K, 2K hours or something, no, it doesn't matter. You just care that you look good. Because you are way past the point of exclusivity even remotely mattering.
Where you feel your purchase is worth more money. We live in hell. So get ready for that. And that basically is the point. Now then, let's talk about Warner Bros. Games choice. You know the way Hogwarts Legacy kind of made a lot of money, big happy? Well, Mr. Zaslav, whatever, is not particularly thrilled. Because there are two successes this year. Hogwarts Legacy, full-fledged video game, no live service, just everyone bought it. And then you've got Mortal Kombat, a game to launch with positive reviews, but now also has got a community up in arms about the idea of fatalities being locked behind paywalls, as well as poorly received skins, character extras, and cosmetics. It is in this that Mr. Zaslav said in the recent earnings call, our focus is on transforming our biggest franchises from largely console and PC based with 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, why do the Mortal Kombat players care about that being locked behind a paywall? Because they want to do it too. They don't see someone fatalitying them with a microtransaction item and saying like, he's so cool because he has it. No. The majority of people are thinking, wow, I also want that. Again, this is why it matchmakes you against people who have the skin and people who don't have the skin. Because people who play something and see a cool skin for it are going to be like, man, I really actually want that, you know? That Lilith skin looks good. They're not going to be like, oh my god, that special one person who has the Lilith skin? Wow, he's so unique. Such a snow sparkle. No, it's not gonna happen. And the person who's playing the Lilith skin is not gonna be like, oh yeah, someone has a Lilith skin also. This is I'm losing the game right now. No, they're not gonna care. Chances are they're gonna be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, tits.
Year release cycles to ones that are more always on gameplay through live services, multi-platform, free-to-play expansions or extensions, with the goal to have players spending more time and more platforms. Ultimately want to drive engagement and monetization for longer cycles at higher levels. We have put out specific capabilities. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate greater post-purchase revenue. So Hogwarts Legacy game, absolutely topping markets everywhere. Not enough. Line go up, not enough. There's always more. Today's success is tomorrow's. Oh, it's a bit of a missed opportunity. We could have had even more. More time, more platforms, monetization, longer cycle, higher levels. For context, Hogwarts Legacy had over $1 billion in sales, 15 million units sold. That's before PS1, nice. Xbone, and Switch. I still think Hogwarts Legacy is winning Game of the Year. Or Baldur's Gate 3. I think it's going to probably be Baldur's Gate, but again, I would not throw out the Harry Potter's fans, okay? They are a force to be reckoned with. Or maybe it's going to be Starfield. No. This is a company printing money off this IP that needs to print more money. Warner Brothers, of course, should have been aware. They should be one of the few publishers aware of how difficult these games could be to manage, because that's why Multiverses is in the middle of reworking after its paid beta, and why everybody thinks that the new Suicide Squad versus the Justice League game is completely screwed and going to get another delay. Right now, it's supposed to launch in February 2024. After, of course, Rocksteady Games have been making this game since 1970. 73, which really is quite
I mean, just from that alone, I can tell you that game doesn't look good.
impressive. This game has had a
Wow.
stupid development cycle. Like, during the dev cycle of this, after, Arkham Knight and stuff, the people at Insomniac have done the Spider-Man, the Miles Morales, and the second Spider-Man, and who knows, maybe even a Wolverine. Insane. So, yes, this is the absolute height of money for the money throne. Skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god, line go up. That is how the business is done. Speaking of which, though, let's have a bit of a laugh at some failure, because Sony are being forced to make less live services. During their Q3 earnings call, where the company's operating income stayed comparatively below fiscal year 21, 20, and 19, in spite of increased revenues, which of course means, like, we're making more money. Why is your operating income down? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because we tried to release 12 live services by the end of fiscal year 25. Right now, as of the time of writing, they maybe have 2, so they're not really going to be making that goal. Well, according to the incoming CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, that has changed.
Sony should stick to creating weapons that bomb the Middle East, honestly, not go gaming things.
Seemingly attributed to the Bungie portfolio review that have been discussed. Let's get into it. Quote, "We are reviewing this. We try as much as possible to ensure these games are enjoyed by gamers for a long time. Of the 12 titles, 6 will be released by fiscal 25. That's our current plan. As for the remaining 6, we're still working on that. That's the total number of live services and multiplayer titles, and mid to long term, we want to push this kind of service, and that's the unchanged policy of the company. It's not like we stick to certain titles, but game quality should be the most important thing." So
yeah, you see, this is why live service games are failing. I'm gonna give you the quick summary of this one, but man, live service games are failing pretty hard right now, because live service games, when they started, they were live service gaming as a whole in the industry of the real world is 20 years behind everything else. They're 20 years behind fast food. They're 20 years behind, Lego. They're 20 years behind everything, and understanding one thing. When you're the only one, when McDonald's was the king, there was no competition. When a lot of these live service games came out, also, they had no competition. They were raking in the money. Then, McDonald's had competition. It appeared. Okay, and it started to take a share of it. And at the end, you know who won the fast food war? Well, currently no one really, but essentially every company that's currently doing good has learned one thing, that they need to provide quality, okay? You know which of the fast food restaurants are currently winning and people are talking good about them? Not the cheap ones, but it's the ones that actually provide people with edible food and it doesn't taste like shit. All the companies that provide food that tastes bad, well, those ones are failing. That's essentially just what's happening here. And the gaming industry is slowly learning this. Because the gaming industry at this point is, okay, we made a live service thing, it made a lot of money, it no longer is making, let's just make more live service industry games. And the thing with the live industry service games is the fact that, well, you need to upgrade them, you need to constantly make them fresh. At the start, you didn't need to do that. You could update them like once a year. But now, man, live service games are gonna, at this rate, be updated every goddamn week. You're gonna get a new patch with new content. And that's expensive. That's really hard to do. But if you don't do that, then people are gonna call your live service game shit. And when everyone's calling your game shit, no one plays them. It is what it is. So, everyone thought that it's easy tendy making a live service game and just, selling microtransactions. But you actually need to update them, maintain them, keep them alive. Which is very hard when every game in the industry has like 20 alternatives possible.
Basically, they are slowing down. Of course, there's been the widely rumored and believed to be behind Sony's restructuring plans that, you know, have basically been because the live service games were not actually up to snuff whenever the snuff of, say, Destiny, which is also quite funny, given the more recent Destiny news. But to extrapolate on this then, Sony basically has been banking on that live service cash to recoup those development costs. If these projects aren't cancelled, more money's still going to be pumped into them, right? And we're obviously seeing that operating income is not replenishing as fast. I think that means there's a reckoning coming. Like we did see, you know, those 10% cuts going on. Now, a lot of that for Bungie was attributed to Bungie and Bungie cocking it up. But basically, that's what's going on. PlayStation now has slashed its ambitions, likely tried to slash as many expenses as is possible. I suppose we'll have to see how that one goes. And to see how things are going, absolutely, you know, first to get our videos before they go live, because as soon as the video is done, we post it over on our new platform. We post loading screen, which to go and like say today's edition.
Okay, that's just more loading screen nonsense. Anyway, that was Billy your news. This was Mr. Sinsen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.